Welcome to CandleLight Audiobooks. The Secret Misses. Chapter 121. Is there a woman in this whole country who doesn't want to sleep with Theo? Luna retorted. Well, all the women in this country want to sleep with me too, but you didn't. Adam blurted out. Luna raised her voice as she said, How do you know I didn't? Adam was taken aback, then his ears instantly flushed red. In the next second, Luna let loose a poochie sound as she laughed aloud. Adam realized that he had been tricked and got angry. Luna. Stop right there. I'm not done with you. If not for the other people around them, he would have already gone all out against her. Realizing that she had finally really pissed him off, Luna quickly waved her hands and ran off to the restroom. She really had drunk too much tonight. She loved to tease people when she was drunk, especially Adam that bonehead. After using the restroom, Luna wobbled her way back, but there were so many turns in the hotel corridors, and it took her a long time to finally find the room. But when she opened the door, she stared dumbly. The room was full of strangers. Furthermore, it was clearly bigger and far more sumptuous than the room the production team were using. To describe it as gold and jade in glorious splendor would be putting it mildly. Sorry, wrong room. After apologizing, Luna was about to leave when a fat, oily hand suddenly grabbed her wrist, then a mouth stinking strongly of alcohol almost touched her face. Aya, where did this little lost lamb come from? This must be fate. How about staying and have a drink with us? That man who had grabbed her wrist and refused to let go was probably in his late 40s. He was very fat, his cheeks were flushed red, and his eyes were filled with lust as he looked her up and down as if she was naked, his gaze finally stopping on her chest. The room instantly filled with mocking laughter. At first, Luna's instinctive reaction was to throw him over her shoulder, but as her gaze swept across the room, she realized that there were many faces which often appeared on the covers of financial magazines. She looked more carefully. Holy shit, half of the top 10 tycoons in the capital were here. What were the chances? This was like a little eunuch blundering into the throne room in the middle of morning court after taking a wrong turn. In short, there was no one in this room she could afford to offend, so Luna immediately withdrew thoughts of violence. It looked like it would be hard to get away tonight. It just had to happen when she had had too much to drink and was still dizzy. Come, pretty girl, come in quickly. That fatty dragged her into the room, not forgetting to grope her at the same time. With great effort, Luna broke free of the fatty's hand, and said apologetically, Excuse me sir, I really did walk into the wrong room. I have friends who are still waiting for me. Hearing this, the fatty suddenly became furious. You slut. You clearly entered the wrong room on purpose. What's the use of pretending to be innocent? You should consider yourself lucky that I've taken an interest in you. Luna cursed silently. A top 10 ranked tycoon had this sort of character. She recognized this fatty as the 10th, and at the bottom of the ranking. He was the CEO of Eric Williams Real Estate, Martin Madrazo, and was known as an especially lecherous person. That fatty reached out to grab her again, and seeing that he wanted to pull her down onto the sofa, Luna racked her brain for a way to escape. At this moment, there was a sudden weight on her shoulders. From behind her, a familiar aura, as cold as a glacier, wrapped tightly around her. Then the weight on her shoulder pulled her to take a step back with great but gentle strength. In the next second, she was already in a pair of strong and warm arms. Gold and jade in glorious splendor is an idiom to describe something that is utterly luxurious and magnificent. Chapter 122. Boss. Boss Goldberg. Just now he had still refused to stop bothering Luna, which had instantly turned into shock. But his expression quickly turned fawning. Boss Goldberg is also interested in this chick. If that's the case, you first. In the room, everyone who had been enjoying the spectacle changed. What was going on? That Theo who, when he attended any social engagement, was always cold as ice and never showed interest in any woman, today, why was he interested in a drunk woman who had stumbled into the wrong room? Ignoring their reactions, Theo only had one person in his eyes at that moment. He knitted his eyebrows together as he looked at the tipsy girl in his arms. What's going on? Goldberg. Luna almost called him by name before she stopped herself in time, and murmured, I walked into the wrong room. The light in the room had been quite dim, so she hadn't realized Theo was there. Amidst a sea of beer bellies, Theo's presence was simply a breath of fresh air. Which room are you in? I'll walk you back. Theo didn't care about all the stares behind him as he walked Luna out. Earlier he had been resting with his eyes closed. He had heard the laughter in the room faintly but hadn't really paid attention until he heard Luna's familiar voice. When he opened his eyes, he saw Martin about to pull Luna in and make a move on her. In that moment, he had felt the impulse to surge forward and break that man's hand. But he couldn't scare his girl, so he tamped down his rage with effort and pretended to be a stranger as he rescued her. After they left the room, Luna finally breathed a sigh of relief. Theo, thank you, if not for you, I reckon I would have caused a lot of trouble tonight. For she would have become violent if that man had refused to listen to her. So what if you cause trouble? I'll help you clean it up. If you encounter a situation like this next time, don't let yourself be taken advantage of again. Theo lectured her with a serious expression. Luna laughed and sighed. It feels good for someone to have my back. Once she left the Goldberg home, and Little Bun no longer needed, did they mean she and Theo would become strangers too? For some reason, thinking of that made her feel a little sad. Theo stroked the girl's head. As long as you agree, I'll have your back for the rest of our lives. Luna waved away thoughts she shouldn't be having. I'm fine now, I can make it back on my own. Are you sure you'll be fine on your own? Theo's face showed that he wasn't convinced. Yes, hurry and go back. Luna waved her hand as she backed away. Theo had known the production crew would be eating here tonight, which was why he had accepted that boring party invitation from those people. Of course, he was very clear on which room Luna was in. So when he saw Luna heading in the opposite direction, he sighed helplessly and caught up to her with long strides. Forget it, it's better that I walk you back. What's your room number? It's 801. 801 is not in this direction. Theo guided her in the right direction. Only when he had walked her to the door did Theo stop. Go in, don't run around any more after this. If you're going to the restroom, make sure you find a friend to go with you. If you can't find anyone, Adam will do. Look for Adam to accompany her to the restroom. Got it. Thank you, Big Boss Goldberg, for walking me back personally. Luna made a heart with her fingers. Theo's lips curled up, and the last bit of his dark thoughts were swept away. Text me when you're done, we'll go back together. Chapter 123. After Luna came back, Adam finally breathed a sigh of relief. What took you so long? I thought you fell into the toilet. Worse than a toilet, I fell into a den of wolves. Luna sank down onto a sofa, still in shock. What do you mean? Adam frowned. I walked into the wrong room. You won't believe it, it was all the tycoons in the capital under one roof. There was even one disgusting fatty who wouldn't let me go, and forced me to drink with him. What? Adam's face instantly changed, and he checked her anxiously from head to toe. Then how did you escape? Luna snorted. Because I was lucky, and bumped into the biggest boss of all the bosses. Hearing this, Adam's facial expression darkened. Don't tell me it was Theo. Luna snapped her fingers. Bingo. Correct, Big Boss Goldberg was so cool and saved me in time. He even walked me back to the room in person. Adam. Where was the rumored high IQ and low EQ? Was this person who was so good at picking up girls really the Theo that he knew? After the gathering, everyone said their farewells. Luna, how are you getting back? Do you want me to give you a lift? Yi Ling Long asked. Thank you, Sister Yi, it's okay, my friend is nearby, and will give me a lift back. Then I'm heading off. Okay, drive safe. What about Adam? How are you getting back? David asked. I'll wait for my manager. Okay, then I will see you two tomorrow. If the weather is good, we'll pick up from where we left off today. Today's rain and hail was really too strange. David muttered gloomily. After everyone in the production crew left, Adam and Luna were the last two waiting at the main entrance. Luna was both sleepy and drunk. It was clear that she was fast becoming unable to prop herself up, and she leaned on the golden pillar behind her, squinting like a dead dog. Adam slanted her a look. Brother Sheldon will be here in a bit. What friend are you waiting for? Just directly go back with me. Wait, don't me you're waiting for. Before he had finished speaking, a man in a suit and leather shoes walked out of the hotel lobby. Under the moonlight, his steady steps drew closer to the sleepy Luna, and his voice was like a summer night's breeze. Luna. Luna could barely open her eyes. Theo. To her, the man before her eyes had already become synonymous with safety. As soon as he appeared in her field of vision, she finally let go of the last bit of her consciousness, her body relaxing and falling to one side. Beside her, Adam was alarmed, and was about to reach out and help her, but someone else was faster, and had already taken a step forward so that the girl fell right into his arms. Theo's gaze was tender as he helped the girl fix her messy hair, then one arm went under her knees to gently lift her up. At the same time, a black Maybach came to a silent stop in front of the entrance. The driver quickly got out of the car to open the car door. Seeing Theo act as if he wasn't there as he carried Luna into the car, Adam couldn't take it anymore. He turned on the voice recorder on his cell phone, then called out from behind. Uncle. Theo slowed down and turned his body slightly, his eyes asking if something was wrong. Adam gritted his teeth. He still needed to ask if something was wrong. Could he not look so matter-of-fact about it? What exactly are your intentions towards Luna? Adam asked directly, giving him a deadly stare. Theo looked at the girl in his arms. Towards Luna? Yes. Don't you think your attitude towards her is too strange and too intimate? Under the huge pressure from Theo's presence, Adam forced himself to keep talking, and held his phone in a death grip at the same time, waiting for an answer nervously. Theo looked indifferently at the youth in front of him. I thought I was already obvious enough, but since you still don't understand. In the next second, Adam's pupils contracted sharply. The man in the dark in front of him didn't speak directly, and instead lowered his head to gently kiss the girl on the lips. 3 seconds later, the expression of profound adoration which the man had been wearing changed, replaced by an icy cold gaze as he stared at the youth gaping in dumb shock. Do you understand now? Chapter 124. Late Night. Platinum Palace Number 6. On top of the bed, a golden retriever rolled around like a spinning top. Fuck 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 fuck. Lei Ming was sitting on the sofa opposite, his face one of helplessness as he yawned. You've said fuck 258 times already, what on earth happened tonight? Immediately Adam's eyes burned with rage, and even his tiger canines glinted coldly. Don't mention 250 to me. I'm really a total 250. Luna said that the last 0.1 point was deducted for my low IQ, and she was absolutely right. Fuck asterisk fuck fuck. I'm really so stupid, there's no cure for me. What damn use is a voice recording? Why didn't I secretly record a video? Why? Lei Ming's mouth twitched. He had no clue at all why he was acting all crazy. But there was one thing he understood, watching him like this. Every time he acted crazy, it had something to do with Luna. Adam, do you want to get back together with Luna? Adam froze like stone, and said furiously with a hang sound, I would be nuts to want to get back together with that asshole. It's because of her that I still have nightmares even now. Lei Ming looked silently at the expression on Adam's face, which was like a woman scorned. He clearly liked her, but still refused to admit it. Actually, he had always suspected that back then, Adam's play-acting had turned into real feelings for Luna. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been so angry after knowing the truth. As for how he felt about Luna now, could it be hatred caused by love? But it could also be that what is unattainable is forever the best. As Adam continued to roll around, his cell phone at the head of the bed rang. Adam was not in a mood to answer it at all. In the end, it was Lei Ming who picked up his phone to take a look. "It's your father." "My dad." Instantly, Adam sat up. He and his father had fought like enemies over him entering the entertainment industry. Why would he take the initiative to call him? There was a faint spark of unease in Adam's heart, and he instantly picked up the phone. They hadn't spoken for too long, and still had unfinished business with each other, so Adam didn't greet his father, and just asked bluntly in a cold voice, "This late at night, what business does CEO Adam have with me?" There was a helpless sigh on the other end of the line, and a man said in a tired voice, "Adam, coma back, the company's about to collapse." Adam's expression changed instantly. "What do you mean the company's about to collapse? What happened?" "There's a spy in the company, and there's been a problem in our collaboration with HN. Right now, I can't trust anyone, the only one I can rely on is you. Don't tell me you have the heart to just watch everything I've worked for my whole life be destroyed in one go." Arlo Byron sounded like he was almost begging. Adam gripped his phone even tighter. "I won't leave the entertainment industry. And I've already told you that I won't take over your company. Adam, I'm not asking you to leave the entertainment industry, and it's your decision whether you want to take over the company or not. I'm just hoping you can spare a bit of time to come back and help me." Adam was a very stubborn person, but hearing his domineering father, who was like a tyrannosaurus at home, speak to him in such a disheartened way for the very first time, there was no way he could bear it, so he didn't immediately refuse, but said vaguely, "But I've been very busy recently, let me think about it." After Adam hung up, Lei Ming immediately asked concernedly, "Did something happen at your dad's company?" "Family is important, I can help you make adjustments at work." 250 in Chinese pinyin is bai wu, which in Chinese slang refers to a stupid person. Hatred caused by love is a Chinese idiom to describe growing to hate someone because of unrequited love for that person. Chapter 125. Adam had a huge headache. "But what about the movie I'm in the middle of doing, do I have to drop out?" Sheldon muttered to himself, then concluded, "Not necessarily. The world is a movie set in ancient times, and has a lot of large scenes, so the shooting schedule runs for a bit longer. I can speak to the director about moving all your scenes to the end of the schedule, and will take responsibility for any losses during this period of time. I believe David will agree to it." Adam grabbed his hair in agitation. "Looks like this is the only way. Shit, why has the whole world been against me lately? That collaboration with HN was a done deal, what could have gone wrong there? And filming a kissing scene in summer, only for it to even hail." The more Adam spoke, the more he felt something was off, and finally, he punched the mattress. "Fuck. Theo. You are just too shameless." Goldberg residence. Seeing Papa bring a drunk Auntie Luna back, Little Treasure's face was filled with blame and accusations. Theo laid Luna on top of her bed, then met his son's gaze with a raised eyebrow as he explained, "I wasn't the one who made her drink." Little Treasure still looked accusing. Theo was helpless. "Fine, it was my fault, I didn't take care of her properly." Hearing the sincerity in his papa's voice, Little Treasure finally stopped looking unhappy. He ran dang to the bathroom, and not long after, came out with a hot towel. Taking off his shoes, he climbed onto the bed and sat by Luna's side as he carefully and seriously wiped her face clean, then her hands. Watching him act like the perfect filial son, Theo was pleased, yet he sighed. He had never received such treatment, even though he was the real father. "Ugh, my head hurts." Little Bun's heart hurt so much when he heard Luna's murmurs of discomfort that he hurriedly bent over Luna to blow the pain away. There was a glint in Theo's eyes as he looked at his son and said, "This is part of Auntie Luna's job, and even I can't interfere." But if it's you, you can try persuading her to drink less from now on, she listens to you more. Little Bun thought that this was a very decent suggestion, and with a serious face, he nodded to indicate that he would take on this important task. The next morning, when Luna woke up, she saw Little Bun leaning over the edge of her bed with a stern little face. He looked very unhappy. Luna hurriedly sat up. What's wrong, darling? Has something happened? Why this face? You look like your dad. She laughed and squeezed his little face. Little Bun swiftly took out writing pad from behind his back, and started flipping the pages one by one. Teacher Little Bun had drawn a vivid comic book, with excellent illustrations and text describing the harmful effects which drinking can have on the heart, blood, bones, stomach, liver, and so on. After he had finished flipping through all the pages, Little Bun continued to look at her with that serious face, and his meaning was clear. Luna coughed softly. Cough, that, little darling, actually drinking is not as scary as you think it is. It can help to reduce cholesterol, increase your confidence, stimulate the brain, even control your weight gain. Luna listed the benefits on her fingers. She knew that Little Bun was worried about her, but she couldn't simply promise a little kid something she couldn't do. How could she quit drinking in this business? Hearing this, Little Bun's black eyes filled with anger and disappointment, and he turned around to run out of the room. Don't go. Luna grabbed her hair in embarrassment. Chapter 126. After a while, Luna went downstairs after washing up, and greeted Little Bun as usual. Hi darling, morning. But Little Bun ignored her, and even turned his face away. Luna, Theo had been reading the newspaper at the table. Seeing this surprising situation, he raised an eyebrow and looked at Luna questioningly. Did the two of you quarrel? That was really rare. Luna rubbed her nose. Little Treasure just advised me to give up drinking, and I told him that drinking actually has a lot of benefits. Then he got angry. So that was it. Theo nodded understandingly. Luna had a flash of inspiration, and instantly looked for an ally. Theo, can you tell Little Treasure, there are a lot of benefits to drinking, right? She assumed that Theo would also need to drink at the social engagements which he attended regularly, so he would definitely stand on her side. Theo looked at an expectant Luna on his right, and at his son's angry expression on his left, and coughed into his fist. Drinking is indeed beneficial. Immediately, Luna was so excited that she slapped her thigh. Little Bun, see, what I said wasn't wrong. Little Bun instantly cast an extremely contemptuous look at his dad. He was the one who proposed it last night, yet he had switched sides the moment Auntie Xiaoxi asked for his help. He had no principles whatsoever. Noticing his son looking at him like he was a traitor, Theo couldn't help laughing, and he continued speaking. However, the harm far outweighs the benefits. Besides, it is only beneficial in moderation. So unless it's particularly difficult to avoid, it's better to drink less if possible. With these words, he also added, recently, I've started to abstain from drinking. As he finished speaking, Luna instantly showed a listless expression as she bent over the table. Lord Boss, we were supposed to be allies. After a long while, she finally accepted the fact that Big Bun and Little Bun were in an alliance together, and raised her hands in surrender. All right, I got it. From now on, if I can drink less, I'll drink as little as possible. No showing off, no drinking competitions, no drinking non-stop. Can you forgive me now, darling? Little Treasure looked carefully at her expression to determine that she was sincere before he finally nodded. Then he reached out a hand that had filled out a fair bit recently to rub her head gently, mimicking her usual way of encouraging him, as if he was saying that she was a good kid like this. Luna didn't know whether to laugh or cry. But beyond that, her heart was filled with warmth from his care and concern. She hugged Little Bun and kissed him with a mwah. Darling, you're so cute even when you're angry. What do? I simply love you a little more every day. Little Treasure's eyes shone brightly, and he was very happy. Opposite them, Theo, who suffered abuse every day. For the thing his son could obtain as long as he acted cute and adorable, he had to plan deliberately, work assiduously and overcome the 81 calamities. Chairman of the board's office at Feng Rue Real Estate. Martin's fierce-looking face trembled as he banged the table and stood up. This is impossible, we've always done things this way and Goldberg Corporation has never complained. Why is there a problem this time? The manager also looked very anxious. It may be because of recent changes in Goldberg Corporation's policy, and they're stricter now about quality control. This matter all depends on what Goldberg Corporation has to say. If they turn a blind eye to it, we'll pass, but if they get serious, then it comes down to our problem with quality control, and we would be the ones breaking the contract. Irritated, Martin paced back and forth. Then what should we do now? I heard that it was Theo who personally gave the order to reject the arrangement, so it seems we can only solve this by approaching the man himself. The manager mused. When Martin heard this, he became even more irritated. Theo, that person won't be persuaded or coerced money, and women won't work on him. Trying to approach him is just a dead end. No, wait, women, maybe there is someone who can. The 81 calamities refer to the 81 dangers or trials which the monk Tripitaka and his disciples underwent in the Chinese classic novel. Chapter 127. When Luna arrived on set, she was informed that the whole filming schedule had been changed because Adam had asked for extended leave to attend to family matters. That guy would chatter constantly about every little thing to her, but this time, when such a big thing happened, why hadn't he said anything to her at all? Luna immediately called him to ask. From his tone, Adam sounded in a very bad mood. Why would I need to tell you? Don't you hate me causing you trouble, or being a busybody? Weren't you eager for me to stay as far away from you as possible? Now you've gotten your wish. Hearing this, Luna also got angry. Adam, why are you in such a temper? Adam felt depressed. He was angry at himself for being too stupid. Finally, he forced himself to calm down as he spoke. I am at my dad's company at the moment, and today I've been working like a dog. There is definitely no way I'll be able to get away. If you're free in the evening, log into the game. I sent you something. Happy birthday. Also, I sent a few things to your inbox. Go see it for yourself, whether you believe it or not is up to you. That's it. Bye. This guy. Luna looked helplessly at the phone after he hung up. At this moment, David came to let her know, Luna, you probably know about Adam. We were going to continue to shoot your kissing scene from yesterday, but given the adjustments, we'll be doing the scene where you fight Emma. Later I'll get someone to give you the new shooting schedule. Luna nodded. Got it, director. After speaking with him, she found a secluded corner under the shade of a tree to read the script. While she was absorbed in her reading, she heard the sound of footsteps, and out of the corner of her eye, she glimpsed a figure that disgusted her. It was Liam who had come over. Liam had sent Emma to the set today. Because it was her birthday, Liam had specially taken a day off to spend the whole of it accompanying her, and the girls in the production crew were all going crazy with envy. Luna had no patience to speak to him, and only lifted her gaze as a way of asking him what he wanted. Liam offered her a bottle of iced drink, and asked carefully, Luna, will you be coming to Emma's birthday party? Luna didn't take it, and looked at him like he was an idiot. Are you sure you want to ask me such a brainless question? Luna, today is also your birthday. If you can come back, we can help you celebrate. I've already spoken to Uncle and Auntie, they've already agreed. Luna rolled her eyes. Thank you so much for helping me celebrate my birthday in passing. Liam frowned slightly and heaved a deep sigh. Luna, I really hardly recognize you anymore. When will you return to the kind and considerate Luna? Back then it was all my fault. If it wasn't for me, Emma wouldn't have done that. If you want to blame someone, blame me. Emma's innocent. She has been living with the guilt all these years, and her biggest wish is to receive your blessing. I really hope you will be able to come. Guilt. Every time Luna spoke to Liam, she felt like she was listening to a joke. Guilty of snatching my identity. Guilty of stealing my parents. Guilty of sleeping with my men. Then she has a lot of guilt. Also, don't mention the word kind to me. Back then I wasn't kind but stupid. Liam's face was unsightly, and then he said firmly, Luna, as long as you can forgive Emma, I'll do whatever you want, except for testifying in court. Are you sure? Luna raised an eyebrow. Yes. Liam nodded. Chapter 128. Luna put down the script in her hand, and looked at him with calm composure. Very well, I want you to dump Emma at the birthday party tonight. Compared with the humiliation I suffered back then, you only need to dump her. Isn't that very kind and considerate of me? Liam's face paled slightly. Luna, this. Luna. How could you? Emma's tearful voice suddenly came from behind her. Luna crossed her arms across her chest and said in a leisurely tone, How can I what? Emma looked at her with anger and pity. You hate me so much because you still can't let go of brother Liam, and I stole him from you. But how can you be so selfish to use this despicable tactic to tear us apart? Brother Liam doesn't love you at all, what's the point of you doing this? Seeing that Emma was getting too agitated, almost as if she was gasping for breath, Liam hurriedly patted her on the back. Emma, calm down, I'm sure it was a careless remark, and Luna didn't mean anything by it. Luna smiled widely as she watched the two people act out a life and death scene. I didn't say it carelessly, unless what you said just now about doing whatever I want was your careless promise. Brother Liam, look at her. We've begged her sincerely for forgiveness, but what does she do? She makes things difficult for us again and again. You won't really agree to such a brazen request, will you? Emma looked up at Liam with a face full of panic and helplessness. Silly girl, how could I? Liam touched her head, then looked sternly at Luna. I'm sorry, Luna. I cannot agree to this request. Luna finally stopped playing around and sneered with fading interest. In the next second, her eyes were like blades. Then get out of my sight. Luna, what is with your attitude? If there is fault, then it was my fault, and has nothing to do with brother Liam. How can you treat him like that? Emma stood up for Liam, as if defending him from injustice. Luna clapped her hands as she applauded them. Your feelings are so touching, they can move people to tears. So, Emma, you must be willing to do anything to atone, and you'll do anything for Liam, right? Hearing her words, Emma frowned. Who knew what trap this woman had dug for her? But she could only have one answer for this question, of course. Now what do you want? Luna deliberately mused for a long time, and under Emma's watchful gaze, said, if that's the case, Liam doesn't have to dump you. You just need to give up the identity of eldest Miss Brown in the capital and go back to your village in town to be Emma Quinn, then all the debts among the three of us will be settled. How about it? Emma widened her eyes as if she had heard something extremely terrible, and she shook her head wildly. No, you can't. Luna, how can you be so cruel? How can you force me to leave my father and mother, to leave the place where I've lived for more than 20 years? Luna impatiently waved her hands to interrupt her. Enough, enough. Your acting is so bad, just stop, it's a real eyesore. I've already told the two of you to stay as far away from me as possible, but you're the ones who keep coming to me to ask for forgiveness over and over again, even swearing you'll do anything I want. And when I do tell you, you still give me an expression that says I'm so ruthless, so shameless, so unreasonable. What reparation? You make it sound so nice, but you're only willing if it's a measly act of charity, which doesn't harm your own interests. The fact that you don't think you're being hypocritical is sickening. So I can only give you 2 words. Get lost. Chapter 129. Liam and Emma went back to the dressing room, the two of them feeling frustrated. Emma stood in front of him, at a loss. Tears fell from her eyes. Brother Liam, do you blame me? Blame me because I couldn't agree to Luna's request. Liam lovingly reached out to wipe away her tears. How could I blame you? Emma immediately jumped into his arms, as if she had been redeemed. Brother Liam, thank you. Thank you for believing me and understanding me. It's not the Brown family's wealth or rank that I can't let go of, but I just can't leave father or mother. At the thought of leaving them, at the thought of never seeing them, I... Hush, don't cry. I know everything. Liam patted her gently on the back and sighed. I was too naive to think that she was the same as before. Emma, I promise you that from now on, I won't let you be mistreated again because of her, and I won't let her hurt you ever again. Brother Liam. Emma looked infatuatedly at the man in front of her. She put her satiny arms around his neck and kissed him. This is the production set if someone sees us. So what if they see? You are my boyfriend. Emma pouted playfully as she sat directly on his lap. She placed her fingers on his chest and undid his buttons one by one. Ha, Luna, I'm going to sleep with your man, take that. A moment later, amorous gasps came from the dressing room. Ah. Brother Liam, you're amazing. Hard. A little harder. Brother Liam, between me and Luna, who do you think is better? Who's better? You, of course. In terms of looks, Luna had an edge, but she was too bashful and timid. In particular, she knew absolutely nothing about sex, let alone think about actively doing something to make him happy. At first, he had actually liked how pure and simple she was compared with other girls, but it became too boring over time. But the current Luna was a completely different person to her old self. Instead, she was just like an alluring spirit. While her personality had become so terrible and so unreasonable, it was impossible to look away from her. The man's gasps became more urgent, and in the last moment, it was that indifferent half-smile that he saw in his mind. Sister Emma, filming is going to start soon. Can I call the makeup artist to come in and do your makeup for you? The assistant's face was red as she stood awkwardly outside the door. She had gotten used to such things after being with Emma for so long. What fresh and pure virgin, she was clearly a sex fiend. People should listen to how wanton the goddess of their heart was in bed. Luna had already been ready since early on, but she had to wait for half an hour before Emma finally strolled over. I'm sorry to have kept everyone waiting, but my skin isn't very good today, so it took a while to get my makeup done, Emma explained apologetically in a hoarse and languid tone. She looked at Luna with a slightly smug and goading air. When she walked past her, she deliberately pulled at her collar, revealing a red kiss mark on her neck. Her face was flushed, her eyes sparkled, and there was a sweet scent on her, as if she was afraid no one could tell what she had just done. The veins on Luna's forehead bulged slightly. If it wasn't because they were shooting a scene, she didn't want to breathe the same air as her for even a minute, she was just so disgusted. David clapped his hands. All right, since everyone is now here, let's get started. Everyone take your places, action. Chapter 130. At dusk, in a sea of bamboos. Two women stood opposite each other, one in a gorgeous red dress, and the other in a flawless white dress. Jenna Wilson had a solemn expression on her face. Ella, you can be forgiven for taking revenge over your brother's death, but just killing Princess Daisy wasn't enough for you. Do you want to destroy the world as well? Ella's long red sleeves fluttered like flames in the wind, and she looked contemptuously at the person before her, as if she was looking at an ant. It was my Meng family who lay the foundations of this world to begin with, so what if I destroy it? Hearing this, Jenna Wilson was outraged. You are so unreasonable. You were also a general, and you protected the land. Why are you being so narrow-minded now? Are you really willing to see everything burn in the flames of war, and let the people suffer for the next 100 years? Her black hair dancing in the wind, Ella lowered her eyes to stroke her delicate, long fingernails, and said in a mad tone, "After I die comes the deluge." Perfect. David was so excited that he didn't know what else to say. Mike had specially visited the site for today's scene. When she was done watching, she breathed a sigh of relief and felt reassured. Actually, in this movie, the role which I put my heart into writing the most was not Jenna Wilson but Ella. And from the beginning, I didn't set Ella up to be a villain. Whether she is righteous or evil will be up to the audience to interpret it. And how the audience interprets it all depends on how the actress performs. If she can't perform well, she'll be the big villain that is hated by everyone, but if she pulls it off, this role will have great depth. Luna was obviously the latter. David was very excited and said in a confident tone, "I have a feeling that Luna will win an award for this role." James also nodded his head repeatedly. "She's a good prospect." Starlight lost Mia, but Luna emerged. What a huge gain. Cut. Great. Take a break and we'll continue with the next scene. Again, the scene was completed in just one take, and David, who had been feeling gloomy because of Adam's sudden departure, immediately felt a lot better. After returning to the lounge, Emma called her assistant over as soon as she sat down. What were the director and the rest of them talking about? The assistant was about to say something, but stopped, as if she didn't know how to say it. Were they praising Luna? Emma sneered. The assistant nodded. Director Hopper said Luna acted perfectly. Writer said Luna's acting was so good that she had turned Ella into a righteous person. Producer Wong also praised Luna, mainly saying that her future development would be better than Mia's. And Director Hopper even said. What did he say? He even said that Luna could win an award for this role. The assistant said weakly. Emma banged on the arm of her chair. Big words. To win an award nowadays you also need backing. Can you get awards just like that? So what if she gets an award? It'll just be for the best supporting actress, and it would be for supporting me. The assistant agreed with everything she said. What Sister Emma is saying is right. She's acting the part of a vixen. How can she compare with you? The audience is not blind. Emma's face softened a bit, but the cloud between her eyebrows still didn't disappear. She lowered her voice. The matter we arranged before, we can carry it out now. The assistant cried out, and then hurriedly covered her mouth. Are we really going to do it? But it's too dangerous. If you don't talk rubbish, just go and do what I've told you to do. Emma looked impatient. Got it. I'll go and tell that person. At this moment, Liam's concerned voice came from behind. What's wrong, Emma? You don't look very well.